has worked with everyone from Jennifer Aniston in We Are the Millers to Leonardo DiCaprio in The Revenant.
After being nominated for an Emmy, yes, Will Poulter, for his role in the series of Dope Stick. Will Poulter's getting ready to make his Marvel debut in Guardians of the Galaxy.
And he's joining us now. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Congratulations on everything.
Emmy.
That's very kind. Thank you.
You have arrived now, right?
Oh gosh, I don't know. No, we're really pleased that the show is sort of getting that recognition. It's lovely.
It's amazing. And so you're about to take on the Marvel Universe in the upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy. Are you a fan?
I was a fan, and actually, not just saying this, I was a huge fan of Guardians specifically, kind of within the Marvel world. Just always really admired that cast, and so grateful to have had the chance to work with them.
Guardians as well, it's really funny. Like, out of all of them, I mean, they all got great scripts, the Marvel stuff, haven't they? There's always a lot of self-deprecation there. There's something different about Guardians from the very outset.
Yeah, I think sort of Guardians has its sort of tongue like firmly planted in its cheek, and that was a really fun thing to experience as well. James, the director, is a really funny guy. The cast are all very funny, so comedy's a big element of it.
What was that called? Because once you're in that Marvel universe, man, that's the mafia. They get you in, you're never going to leave. What was it like getting that call?
Oh, it was lovely. You know, nothing I really sort of ever could have expected. It was quite a long sort of audition process over a number of months.
So you do have to audition, because normally jobs just come to you.
No. I'm still on the audition trail.
So what did you do for the audition?
So I sent in a kind of number of different sort of audition tapes, and then I ended up kind of flying out there and doing a sort of in-person audition. And I'm the worst auditioner in the world, so the fact I have ever got any job is kind of a miracle to me.
What's the thing?
I'm a very nervous, anxious individual, and so I find auditioning as terrifying as it's.
The strange thing is, I see this perception that actors get roles. Like the audition process, you've got to be so high up to not audition.
Right.
Like everyone, so many actors, really established actors, I read for that part, I didn't get it, and you're like, what?
Yeah. I can't believe that.
So true, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely still at a stage in my career where I'm to be auditioning, but I too am surprised sometimes when I hear about, I'm like, oh gosh, when is it going to be over? I don't think ever. I think I'm always going to be auditioning for the rest of my life.
So is there anything you can tell us about the movie? Because I know most of it, you have to keep it quite top secret, don't you?
Yeah, unfortunately, I am sort of sworn to secrecy.
Really?
But
every time you appear on a couch, you're like, don't.
Tom Holland, he always gives it away, doesn't he? He loves giving it away.
Poor Tom, yeah. I've heard that. I haven't seen anything, but I've heard that. But yeah, poor guy's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders.
What can you tell us about your character?
So the character's Adam Warlock, and I really can't say that much more, to be honest. That's about it. The character's called Adam Warlock, and
we got a lot out of Will, didn't we?
Yeah, he sort of teased at the end of the second movie, and he's part of the third. How much, I don't know.
You've finished it filming now, though?
We finished filming a couple of months ago, and then I'm heading out to Comic-Con pretty soon.
Was it on a big scale? Did you have a golf course with your Winnebago and everything? What did you actually have? Was it big time?
It was, you know what, from the outside looking in, very, very scary, and I was quite intimidated, but everyone was so nice, and the set actually genuinely had the spirit of a kind of indie comedy or something, which is really nice and just made it all feel very grounded, and everyone is genuinely really lovely, so it was a really good one.
You've been at this a long time. I've known Will for a very long time, and when you first started, the lovely thing about you, Will, is you've been a gentleman. You're an old school gent trapped in a young man's body. You've got that lovely kind of Jimmy Stewart, Cary Grant, probably you are, though. You've got really good, you always had lovely manners, and you just always thanks everyone. It's the nicest guy. Aww. But you've done the indie stuff, you've done the big stuff as well. Tell us a little about the score, where you star alongside... it's a musical, and you sing alongside Johnny Flynn, who's a very good singer, isn't he? He did this lovely show called The Detectorist, he did the theme to, and Naomi Ackie, who plays Whitney.
She's a really good singer.
So the score is like a heist musical. Tell us about that.
It is. It's an existential, romantic heist musical. One of those, straight off the shelf. It's definitely different, and singing alongside a professional musician as talented as Johnny Flynn, and then Naomi Ackie, who has the voice of an angel and is playing Whitney Houston. I don't know why I signed up to that. I just sang as quietly as possible.
Should we have a quick look at a little clip? Let's have a look. This is the score.
Stealth musical.
Like it. You know what it reminds me of? You know when you saw Ewan McGregor in Moulin Rouge?
Yeah.
It reminds me of like that sort of.
Hey, that's not
his
bad.
voice is really nice. I like your voice.
That's very kind.
Did you get training for that?
We had a studio session where Johnny was kind of sort of co-directing the recording, and that was really, really helpful. You know, I think a lot of patience on his part, but really fun. And me and Nay, basically, that was our kind of first time sort of hanging out and getting to know each other, and it was a brilliant icebreaker. You know, hearing your voice break over a record is a great way to break the ice. Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
We should have done that when we met.
We did do that. Yes.
Let's talk about the charity Turn to Us. What is it that they do, and how are you involved in what's going on with these guys at the moment?
Yeah, so I'm a recent supporter of Turn to Us, and they're an amazing anti-poverty charity. They've been tackling poverty for over 125 years. And obviously now, in response to the rising cost of living, unfortunately, more people are reliant on their services than kind of ever before. And a lot of the issues that we've seen in relation to people struggling with financial insecurity have just been exacerbated by COVID and various other things, you know, in relation to the government. So they're basically launching a campaign called How Many More? And they're asking the question, how many more people are going to be pushed into financial insecurity where they can't afford the basics? And we're just talking about basic things that people are entitled to, like food. You know, too many people are being forced to basically decide between whether they turn on the heating or whether they can eat. And that just doesn't, you know, sit right, I think, with anybody.
And you've met some of the people who have actually used the service, haven't you?
Yeah, I've had an opportunity to speak to some of the service users and people with, you know, lived experience. And, you know, these are people who are experts in budgeting and having to make, you know, small amounts of money, like, stretch a long way. And over half of the service users have actually reported that after their house bills, council tax, utility bills, they're actually still left with £0 in order to spend on.
And these are hard-working people as well, aren't they?
These are hard-working people.
That's the maddest thing about the whole thing. It's like people who are working, they're doing their bit. That's what's so upsetting.
Absolutely, and I think contrary to some of the kind of media representations of the past, you know, these are exactly that, hard-working people. Over 40% of people who rely on universal credit are in work. They're working, and still universal credit doesn't meet their needs, and it doesn't align with the cost of living, and that's only getting worse. So I think the idea of the campaign is to draw people's attention to that, and also let people know that if you are facing financial insecurity, more and more people are finding themselves in that scenario. Turn to Us is there. They provide practical information and support, grants that aren't necessarily, needed to be paid back. So that information is there, and Turn to Us are there to be turned to.
Well, good on you for using your platform for good, honestly. Yeah. Well done for that.
Least I can do.
Brilliant.
Thank you. Let me talk about it. Thank you.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 hits cinemas in May 2023.
The score is out in cinemas from the 9th of September, and Dope Stick, congratulations again, currently streaming on Disney+. Will Poulter, you've been ThisMorning.
Thank you both so much. It's a pleasure to be this morning.
Lovely to have you with us.
So nice to meet you. Thank you so much.